The union, meaning GTU, submitted a proposal in 2020. There's no lie about that. Government has not denied us submitting our proposal. EI is citing, and you see these people monitor everything. Everything that happens around the world, they monitor, because we are an affiliate of the Education International. And they say they have monitored the fact that GTU has submitted its proposal in 2020, intended to run to 2023. And you have seen that proposal that intends to run between 2019 and 2023. But they said we submitted to this government, which is not in any way an argument. We're not going to argue about that. But the fact is that 2023 has come and ended, and the proposal has not been addressed. Collective bargaining has not taken place. Went on to say, but unfortunately, discussions on this proposal have not taken place, meaning relating to the financial matters. Not taking place means that there is no feasible conclusion on the matter. There's no closure on the matter. Despite the union's attempt to seek mediation, despite the union's attempt, and we have said this very clearly, our attempt to seek mediation from the Ministry of Labor, that's what ministries of labor do. Any country, when there are labor disputes, the Ministry of Labor steps in. All we have heard of the Ministry of Labor, how much money they recover for working people. All we have heard from the Ministry of Labor that when people die on the job or they get injured, they are investigated. We've never heard of any matter being brought to a closure. Anyways, that's not our business right now. The Ministry of Labor was expected to offer mediation, to stand as a mediator, and isn't that what GTO has been saying? We expected better of the Ministry of Labor. They have failed. EI is saying that despite the union's attempt to seek mediation from the Ministry of Labor, there has been no fruitful dialogue. No fruitful dialogue. Next paragraph. GTU has felt compelled to announce an unlimited strike starting 5th of February, citing the need for government engagement on the crucial matters at hand. After 3 years of seeking negotiation, the union believes that industrial action is the last resort, and our letters to the ministry kept saying that this is the last resort. We have tried every other thing. Yes, they showed publicly that they are one-sided, the Ministry of Labor. Industrial action is the last resort to bring government representatives to the table. GTU concurs with that. The letter went on to say, I understand the disruption caused by the strike to the academic term and the impact on examinations such as CXC, NGSA, and NGSA. However, EI concurs. However, so EI is saying we understand the disruptions in education. We understand that children are affected. We understand that the delivery of the curriculum is affected. However, EI concurs with the GTU that after being ignored for 3 years, the teachers' union has exhausted options for dialogue, and industrial action is necessary to engage the government's representatives. Next paragraph. So EI said, we understand that there are disruptions. We understand that the system has been affected in light of upcoming exams. But we concur with the GTU to take these actions in light of what was said, that there hasn't been meaningful negotiation. Next paragraph. Your government has expressed a strong commitment to improving its education system and to increase education spending to 6% of Guyana's GDP and 20% of the national budget. I tell you, EI monitor it. EI listened to the presentation of the national budget, and they're saying the budget is saying we're giving 6% of this budget to education and 20% of the 6% of the GDP to education and 20% of the national budget to education. So EI is citing the very argument put out by the Ministry of Education in Parliament. They have been monitoring. Remember I said that? They have been monitoring. Share the live, share the live, share the live. Share the live. The quality of an education system, so here he goes on to say, the quality of an education system depends on the degree to which a nation's teachers and professionally qualified are well supported with decent salaries and working conditions, as well as quality environment for teaching and learning. So yeah, I said, oh, we know. You have a big portion of your budget supporting education. We understand that this you have put forward. But we want you to know that the quality of the education system depends on the educators, depend on the professionals who are engaged in the delivery of education. EI is saying that. EI is not saying we are political pawns. EI is saying if you pay better salaries and you create better working conditions for educators, the country will benefit. The government has it the other way around. The government has it the other way around. We must wait until 2027 for better salaries. But we ain't having it. Additionally, it depends on the degree to which teachers and educators support professionals are allowed to freely associate in unions and associations that can represent them to bargain terms and conditions of employment, engage on policy issues. So EI said teachers must be free to associate. They must be free to associate. They must be free to associate because a union is the original bargaining body. I also note that Guyana ratified in 1967 the Convention of International Labour Organization, ILO, on the right to organize and collective bargaining. Guyana has a history of engaging with union representatives. Yes, Guyana has a history of engaging with union representatives. We signed on to the ILO regulation for collective bargaining. In 2022, the ILO noted your government indicated that 18 unions are participating in collective bargaining. We're not. The government indicated in 2022 that the government is engaging in collective bargaining with 18 unions. You be the judge. Stating the agriculture sector, the banking and food manufacturing, insurance, retail, gasoline, government services, transportation, mining, with 15 collective bargaining agreements concluded since 2020. The people went back and checked Guyana's submission, which is a breach. Now we are talking about people and credibility. We're talking about the union's credibility and the leadership of the union's credibility. But here, EI said, the government submitted that they signed 15 collective bargainings with 18 unions in Guyana. In 2022, they said that. they signed 15 collective bargainings with 18 trade unions in Guyana. Now I ask you, where is the credibility? Where is the credibility? The people went back and they garnered information from the ILO that Guyana submitted that we get 15 signed agreements. Maybe GTU's name isn't there, that there's a signed agreement. Out of the 18 unions that they engage. I tell you, if we don't stand our ground, we'll be trampled upon for the rest of our life. Collective bargaining, they went on in new paragraph, also applies to public servants directly employed by the government. The ILO consistently emphasizes that priority should be given to collective bargaining to settle disputes related to the determination of terms and conditions of employment in the public service. If negotiations are unsuccessful due to disagreements, if negotiations are unsuccessful due to disagreements, the government should consider conciliation. Remember that term? We wrote asking for conciliation. So EI said the government should consider conciliation if we can't agree on the financial package. Go to conciliation. We should consider mediation. The labor union can mediate the process. And they also said, or arbitration by an independent body trusted by the parties. That is exactly what we wrote about. Conciliation and arbitration. And you know the position taken by the Chief Labor Officer. I therefore, concluding the letter now, I therefore invite the government of Guyana to enter into meaningful and constructive negotiations with the Guyana Teachers Union, guided by the principles of fairness and mutual respect. I believe that a collaborative approach based on the provisions of ILO Convention 98 can lead to a resolution that addresses the concerns of teachers. So EI, after citing what government submitted and the fact that we have signed on as a country to the ILO Convention 98, EI has said they are inviting the government to engage the Guyana Teachers Union on the principles of fairness, mutual respect. You tell us whether we have gotten any respect over the last 2 weeks. I've heard a lot about my colleagues saying this government has disrespected us as educators. EI says, let these engagements be fair and respectful. They also say, I believe that a collaborative approach based on the provisions of ILO Convention 98 can lead to a resolution that addresses the concerns of teachers. Share the light, share the light. And they conclude by saying, I am hopeful that through open dialogue, a resolution can be reached to the satisfaction of all parties involved. EI is ready to offer any assistance deemed necessary to facilitate the negotiation process. Not the words of Mark Klein. EI says, if government can't find a ground to deal with this matter, they are ready and willing to offer assistance. Thank you for your attention to this matter, and we look forward to a positive response. Now, I remember saying, if you are written to, it is only fair that you respond formally. I remember saying that on Friday. And I hope the Honorable Minister of Education will respond to Mr. David Edwards, General Secretary of Education International. Education International that services or has affiliate members in 178 countries, 32.5 million members across the globe. And this is what Education International is saying. I want the government who is listening to my live this afternoon. I know you always listen to my live. This strike has gone on for too long. The government has to be the big person in the room. They have to demonstrate maturity. They have to demonstrate the ability to govern by bringing this standoff to an end. The Minister of Labor, instead of acting as a mediator, he's on record as saying, GPU must call out the strike. The Minister of Labor, who has a role to play in ensuring that he serves as a mediator, or his ministry serves as a mediator, has taken a position to say, y'all start the strike, y'all call out the strike. Well, Education International ain't having it. They have said in no uncertain terms, government must come to the table. Government must meet with the teachers' union, the bargaining body of the teachers in Guyana. That the government must not seek to, in a partisan way, say that teachers must not have a union. But the government must come to the table and address the needs of our teachers. So where are we after 10 days of strike? We have had less than 30% of the children going to school after 2 weeks. After 2 weeks of strike, in all of Guyana, less than 30% of the children going to school. No government that cares, and we hear that term, that phrase very often, because we care. Because we care. How can a caring government sit back and allow 70% of the learners not to be engaged by their teachers because they have taken an arrogant position? And I'll say it this afternoon. The government has taken an arrogant position. Arrogance will take you nowhere. The government has taken an arrogant position. And we have the stats. Below 30% of the learners have gone to school, and this government said we're going to wait out this strike. We're going to wait out this strike. We're going to wait until y'all get tired and go back to the classroom. We're going to threaten you. We're going to threaten you in every way until you are fearful and run back to the classroom. That's what this government has done. Instead of standing by the phrase, we care. We care must not be only giving cash grants. We care must for government to understand that 1 day of learning loss, 1 day of learning loss has a significant impact on a child or the children of this country. They have rocked back in their chairs of arrogance and pride. They rock back in their rocking chairs of arrogance and pride and do everything except engage the union. Everything except engage the union. And while they are doing that, 70% of the children have not been at school for the last 10 days. While they have done that, the 30% of children that went to school were hardly taught. So it wasn't business as usual for the 30%. But this government because of arrogance, have sat back. They folded their arms and they flexed their muscles. I really don't have a lot of muscles. They flexed their muscles and they try to push their fingers in the eyes of the educators of this country. And they said, we're going to poke your eyes out. We're going to cut your means of survival, all 6,000 of you. And we are going to show you who is boss. That's what they have done for the last 10 days. I don't know who is the elephant in the room on the other side of this matter. I have not heard, coming from the side of the government, an iota of a word that says, we would like to engage. The union has said it, and I have said it. I have said it repeatedly. And I know the General Secretary has said it too, that we are ready. We are ready to engage. We are ready to engage. But this government has sat on their hands, and they are playing the waiting game. We can try to burn you out at the expense of the children of this nation. I don't see how we care. How do you care? By giving grants? It's a sad situation. I'm here this afternoon as the president of the Guyana Teachers Union to once again say and appeal to the government. Get off your rocking chair. Get off your rocking chair. To say to the government, swallow your pride. We didn't bring this on ourselves. You pushed us to where we are. You pushed us to where we are. And all of Guyana knows that the talks with the Minister of Governance, the Minister of Education, and the Minister of Public Service fell through. Only 2 meetings. Those talks on financial matters did not materialize. All of Guyana knows that. And we have found that the spokespersons for this government have been found to be lying. They have lied on so many occasions that this whole country is finding it difficult to believe you when you speak. This whole country, of all the parents of the 750,000 people, if we have that many people in the country right now. Since I born, we get 750,000 people. And that was a long time ago. 750,000, the census, every time we have a census, that's the number we come back with. But I don't know, I don't do the census. But that's what the census says. All these people, these adults, who have been taught by a teacher at some point in time, I know in their quiet moments, they are feeling it for the teachers. Who would stand by and see somebody beat up the parents? I see a lot of people get into fights because somebody tell them about the mother or the father. People get a serious passion, get upset and angry, get violent when you tell them about the mother or the father. They don't make father and mother joke. People will tell you that clearly. They tell you that very clearly. And the whole nation sat back for the last week. Matter of fact, for the last 2 weeks, Guyana watched the parents who are all taught by a teacher or many teachers watched as the government insulted and disrespected the educators of this nation. And many of them came out in their numbers and they said, we are not having it. They said, we are not having it. These guys came out and they said, we are not having it. They supported. Many teachers who are not in the front line because of fear, they are saying we are not having it. They're not going to school. And even those in school, because of fear, are supportive of the strike because they want a better salary. They want the conclusion of the financial matters, and this government must get off its laurel. They must get off their laurels. They must chase the elephant in the room. And the President, His Excellency, must lead. The President must lead. The President must lead this country. Must lead this country by taking his executive position, by swallowing his pride. The colored one. Turn right. Must swallow his pride. Must forget about being arrogant and understand you're getting all of Guyana vexed. We move into day 11. That's why I'm also here to tell you, we are backing down. We are backing down. Just like how you say, we ain't giving up no mountain towards Essequibo. The teachers have sounded their voices and they have rallied around the call of the union all over this country. And as I did allude, even those who return to the classroom are still showing solidarity. So don't get fooled by the number of people who went back to school because they were frightened or afraid. I use the word frightened because they were afraid. Don't get flustered by that. They are still in support of these actions. We're going to be outside tomorrow. All over this country, we'll continue to be outside. And as we go with the mantra, slippers on the ground. Slippers on the ground. Not boots on the ground, slippers on the ground. I know some of these politicians like copy your thing, right? The GTU came out in 2018 with boots on the ground. Somebody copied it. So we now have slippers on the ground. We are here waiting to see who's going to copy it. Slippers on the ground is the original thing. Boots on the ground is the GTU original's mantra too. My brothers and sisters, those of you who have indicated by way of your action a weakness and a political position that you are not going to support the actions of your colleagues who have been out there for 10 days, I find your action to be selfish. Whatever the penalties are, the world is watching. I read the EI's letter, and Mr. Duncan Edwards, the General Secretary of EI that represents 32.5 million teachers or educators in 178 countries, he said, we have been monitoring. Who else is monitoring? The whole world is watching. The whole world is watching. And the whole world has concluded. The whole world has concluded that it's disrespectful. It is unconscionable. It is heartless. It is barbaric. It is inhumane to have the educators of this country on the road for 10 days. Tomorrow will be 11 days. It is heartless, Unthinkable. Unthinkable. I talk to many people in this society, and they are saying, Mr. Light, Dr. Light, I don't know what to say. I'm supporting the teachers. This has gone beyond disrespect. This has gone beyond disrespect. And every time the government opens its mouth through its spokespersons to speak, and even those that are strolling on this live here, they're coming on the live and typing a set of madness. We ain't got time with them. They're paid to do that, to create distractions. People are fed up. Even in the stronghold areas of this country, of this government, I should say, people are fed up. Look at the videos that are made. Look at the comments when the Ministry of Education and the government tries to take on a defensive posture. People's comments are not too nice. We must end this, and we must end it quickly. We must let good sense prevail. We have over 1,000 people, 1,000 persons on this live. The last live I did on my way to Linden on Friday. On Friday evening had 6,700 views. 6,700 views. I'll check back to see how many more were added. The world is watching, like EI said, we have been monitoring. And I'm sure that the views on this particular live will go up, even after I'm done with this presentation. So I want to say to teachers in Region 3, the struggle is real. We outside, day 11. I want to say to the teachers in Mabaruma, in Maruka and Matakai, we outside in day 11. I want to say to the teachers in Georgetown and Region 4, we outside on day 11. To the teachers in Region 6, we outside on day 11. To the teachers in Region 5, we outside in day 11, on day 11. The teachers in Region 7, we outside day 11. Teachers in 10, Region 10 and Pokwani, we outside on day 11. Teachers in Region 8, we outside on day 11. Teachers in Region 9, we outside on day 11. Teachers in Region 2, yes, we outside. And we saying the same thing. Collective bargaining, talk to the leaders of the union, talk to the union. Don't come talk to us individually. Talk to the union. This don't have to go on. I've said this all along. We outside. And to those people, those teachers who are between and betwixt, join your colleagues. I'm here to appeal to you. These folks believe they can burn us out. So they play the waiting game while they care. They are playing the waiting game while they care. You get my sarcasm there, right? They're waiting to see when we gonna call off this strike while they say we care. We care. Teachers, my fellow educators, this is our struggle. This is our struggle. And the only way we are going to win and come out with our desired objectives, only way we're going to come out with our desired objective, to bring the government to the table, is through our collective and united effort. I know many of you are in the schools and you're creasing because you want an increase. You're creasing. You want your colleagues to do the work for you. You want your colleagues to do the work for you. We are not giving up. So we outside tomorrow. Wherever your leaders indicate you're going to be, please assemble early. Please assemble early enough. I know some of you try to do other things before you come out. We are not backing down. I call on all hardworking professional educators who have been denied a constitutional right to have collective bargaining take place in this government, to stand in solidarity with your union. We have the backings of Education International, who cited the International Labour Organization's Convention 98, who also indicated that they have been monitoring. They cited government submission of engaging 18 unions and striking 15 signed agreements. You be the judge. That's for credibility. The people who talk about credibility, let them justify. The people went back to the ILO submissions coming out of this country in 2022 that said 22 labor collective bargainings were signed. Not with GTU. Maybe we are the three that was left out. But let them produce the evidence, because we know the Public Service Union got the government in court for the same thing, collective bargaining, the absence of collective bargaining. All of Guyana must speak out against this injustice, this high-handed behavior. All of Guyana must stand on the side of the educators. You know why? We were all educated by educators. And it is not to be foolhardy. Our teachers have always been underpaid. Always been underpaid. And you have heard on many programs, teachers sharing their plight. Teachers sharing their plight relating to their education, relating to their spending power, relating to their inability to survive on the small salary. So all 1,100 of us will be outside tomorrow. Whether you are a parent, whether you are a teacher, whether you are a business person, whether you are a civic-minded community personnel, I call on you to stand with the teachers of the young. Stand with the teachers of the young. We need your support. And to this, I look forward to seeing you outside, wherever it is planned for you to be. I'm not going to tell on this slide where we're going to be. We're going to be all over this country. I want to assure you that the union stands resolute, and the union has indicated its willingness to dialogue. Government must now indicate that they want to dialogue. And look, let me close by saying this. I said I closed a couple of times, but let me close by saying this. More and more from the international community, because we have written several other stakeholders in the international community. And I'm sure in the coming week, in this week here, more solidarity messages and an urge to engage will emanate from the international community. More will be coming. This government must act, and they must act now. I want to say to the retirees, when teachers get a raise, your pension will also improve. You will have better living conditions as a retiree. So we welcome you to join us as well. To the parents whose children are not at school, or when they're at school, they're doing nothing, come out and join us. Let us join our voices together to send the strongest possible message to the government of the day that they must speak with the teachers. They must speak with the teachers' union. We are ready. So let me wish you a very productive Sunday afternoon. And whatever you do, just be good. Rest well tonight, colleagues. And come tomorrow, we outside. We are outside. That's it. Have a great rest of the afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Jasmine Caldata Francis C. Wakenham, and since 1965 I become a voter, and I always place my X next to the cup, and what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data.
Oh, Jesus Christ, if cost of living double, I don't know what happened. A pound of sugar is $300 already. Flour, everything gone up. Everything just raising. You gotta get about $40,000 for buy good ration. You gotta get 3 man now. A weekend man, a monthly man, and a fortnight man.
A born each one made chest. I can't even rest. How cost of living, everything doubling, this thing troubling. Tell me how I must carry on with a seemingly one arm. Tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Every time I go to the market, everything skyrocket. Rice, the beans, the cheese, the liver, they make me want shiver. Tell me how I must carry on with a seemingly one arm. Tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Please tell me how I must survive with 6.5.
Hello, this is attorney Shellen Washington, owner and founder of the Washington Law Firm, located at 455 Utica Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. We're specialized in medical malpractice, personal injuries, matrimonial law, and landlord and tenant. If you're in need of legal representation, please give us a call today. The number to call is 718-877-3100. Consultation is free at no cost to you. So call us today to see if we can be of any assistance to your legal needs. Again, the phone number to call us is 718-877-3100.
When the union's inspiration through the work is blood Sharon, there can be no power greater anywhere beneath the sun. Yet what force on earth is weaker than the feeble strength of one? The union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong.
They have taken untold billions that they never told to earn. But without our brain and muscle, not a single will return. We can break their haughty power, gain our freedom when we learn that the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong. Makes us strong.
When the union's inspiration through the workers' blood shall run, there can be no power greater anywhere beneath the sun. Yet what force on earth is weaker than the feeble strength of one? The union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever.